Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is your friend and brother Robert W. JoJo Hill, the servant, the artist, and the author. And today, I just wanted to take a moment and talk about this. This thing's been heavy on me. I've been really thinking about sharing this one, and uh, this is gonna really pull you and check you a little bit in terms of how you are developing your relationships as it relates to who you're with and all those things. Now, check this out. What I want to talk about today is why wise and strong men will always choose progressive women as opposed to active women. Or it can go vice versa. It's not just about one side or the next. Now I'm going to be dealing a lot with um, just kind of building out some of these things I've been sharing about relational dealings and all that kind of thing. Because some of you kind of think, well, this is all about he's talking about the ladies. No, 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 no. It's really about building understanding. And all the getting, you have to get understanding. So if you're going to know how it works, you have to know the components that make it work. What's actually causing it to work? Now check this out. The concept of progressive thinking people versus active thinking people is really the issue. It's really the concern of what I want to just kind of look at today. Now check this out. You can be extremely active in a relationship. You can be extremely active in something, but it doesn't mean that you're being progressive. Let me say it again. You can be extremely active in an environment, extremely active in a situation, extremely active in a relationship, right? But you have absolutely no progressive thinking in it. See, the people that always land with the whole they got a ring on it kind of thing, that whole dynamic, and they done really locked in a strong one and all this, a good one and all this stuff, right? These people are progressive in their thinking. Now, here's the difference. Progressive thinking people have a destination in mind. The concept of being progressive only works when you have a particular destination in your mind. So if you say, okay, look, I'm only getting involved in this relationship, I'm only getting involved in this business dealing, I'm only getting involved with this spiritual undergoing or undertaking, I should say, with a destination in mind, then you start to be progressive because then you can mark your progress. In other words, you can mark how far you've come from the last time. So you get people that's, oh, well, I just came out of a relationship. I just went into a relationship. I'm either just leaving one, I'm just starting one, I'm in one. It's active, 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 but it doesn't mean that it is in fact progressive. Now here's the deal. You can have someone that doesn't do a lot of stuff, right? But if their thinking is progressive, man, forget about it. They will out move, outmaneuver, outlive, outshine a whole gang of people that are stressed, constantly active. Well, I'm at this thing, I'm doing this. I'm no, that don't mean nothing. What I learned is you have to be very, very, very careful of the things that you allow your mind space to be filled with that lets you um or that makes you believe that you're actually being progressive when you're actually just being active. I remember one of my buddies told me when I was in college, Lavelle Bradford, brilliant, brilliant guy. Lavelle is probably one of the most brilliant guys that I know. Musically, just a phenomenon. I learned so much. He slapped my wrist so much in terms of my music understanding and just a brilliant guy. And one day we was at this event, right? And so I was playing and like all these cats was like, oh man, yeah, you doing your thing, you killing, you killing. And Brad pulled me to the side later. He was like, hey, he said, Hill, man. He said, you gotta watch that. I was like, man, watch what? What the crap you talking about? He said, man, you gotta watch how you accept stuff from people, man. Like certain people, they be gassing your head up, and you'll think because you was just doing a lot of stuff, it mean you was killing, but you really wasn't killing. And I was like, dude, what are you talking about? Like at the time, I'm probably 18, and me and Brad the same age, but he was just really beyond his years, just extremely brilliant guy. Look him up, Lavelle Bradford, brilliant guy, one of my best buddies. And he told me, he said, "Man, you gotta watch that, Hill. You have to watch the people that you accept those compliments and stuff from, because you always gonna have the cats that's sitting over just waiting for you to do the fastest run or do the craziest lick. But it don't mean that you really thought it through. It doesn't mean that you were being progressive as a musician. It just means that you did a bunch of stuff. You just played a bunch of notes and one another one of my boys, Bobby Sparks. I'm just kind of on this music thing today, but one of my boys, Bobby Sparks, he's like, man, that boy, he played a bunch of stuff, but he ain't said nothing. I was like, what? He said, and we was young cats, these dudes were saying this stuff. He said, man, he played a whole bunch of stuff, but he ain't said nothing. Wow, I was just fascinated by that. Now, here's how it relates. Now, here's how it ties in. Is a lot of people that constantly get involved in relationships and they're doing stuff in the relationship, but it doesn't mean that the relationship is going absolutely anywhere. They're doing stuff, but they ain't said nothing. It ain't landing nowhere, and then you wonder why you'll have somebody who dates somebody for 15 years, who dates somebody for 19, 20 years. I think that is the most incredibly insane crap in the world. That just means they were extremely active in the relationship, doing the relationship, absolutely no progress. You got to watch that. Let me tell you, I'm gonna close with this. I read this story some years ago. It was talking about processionary caterpillars, and they're aptly named because what they do is, if you put them in a circle, they'll just follow each other around the circle. They just follow each other around. So if you put them around a pot, like a pan or something, whatever, they'll just follow each other around. You can remove the pan, put their primary source of food right in the center of it, and they will not eat the food. And they'll ultimately starve to death with their primary source of food less than inches away from them because they refuse to break the circle of activity and be progressive towards their food. We really got to watch that. I read that stuff. I thought it was so powerful. Incredible statement. Incredible story. Oh, that's my time. All right, guys, that is my time. This is your friend and brother, Robert W. JoJo Hill, your servant, your artist, and the author. I want you guys to be encouraged, be empowered, and most of all, be enlightened. The servant has spoken.